Eventually, though, in 2011, McCready and Barrett would come together to create a box set to commemorate the band they had briefly been in together. While doing so, Barrett would contact his fellow former member of Screaming Trees and contributor to Mad Season, Mark Lanigan, about potentially doing something for this release. To that end, he sent Mark copies of the 17 instrumental tracks they had recorded in the studio back in '96 to see if there was anything among them that might inspire him to write some lyrics for. Now, apparently Barrett wasn't expecting much. At most, he hoped that Mark would find one track in there that he might be willing to do something with. Mark, though, who had long trusted Barrett's instincts, actually responded that he'd found 3 songs that he really liked and already knew what he wanted to sing. Lyrics that Baker suspected might have been Mark's way of saying goodbye to Baker and Lane, especially considering how close he and Lane had been. Then, to further commemorate the short-lived band's legacy, on the 30th of January 2015, Mad Season reunited, with Chris Cornell filling in for Lane Staley on vocals and Duff McKagan filling in for Baker on bass. This show would include performances with the Seattle Symphony Orchestra, and would also include performances by another notable and short-lived Seattle supergroup, Temple of the Dog, who were only missing Eddie Vedder that night from their original lineup. A show which fittingly ended with drummer Sean Kinney of Alice in Chains coming on stage to join the others in playing All Alone, which was accompanied by Lane Staley's actual vocal track. Tragically, though, since that time, both Cornell and Mark Lanigan have both also passed, joining the shockingly long list of musicians from that era who died too soon. Ultimately, Mad Season was a group that only lasted for 6 months. During that time, they played maybe 6 shows together and created only 1 album, and while 2 of the original members have died, as have 2 others who contributed to the band's legacy, the music they created still lives on.
Thank you for listening to Distorted History. If you would like to help out, please rate and review the podcast and tell your friends if you think they'll be interested. If you're feeling especially generous and would like to help keep this podcast going, please consider visiting my Ko-fi page at ko-fi.com/distortedhistory and donating a few bucks. Anything you can give is greatly appreciated. I will be posting updates on future episodes and sources there in addition to posting them on Twitter as I usually do. With all that being said, once again, thank you for listening, and until next time.